Welcome to Peptide-proof, your source for rigorous, independent, evidence-based peptide intelligence. Today, we're looking at Kenvue's Q2 earnings and the commercial maturation of peptide skincare. We're treating Kenvue's August 2026 earnings as a definitive case study today. This is that fascinating tipping point where a highly trending scientific ingredient fully transitions into a hardened, verifiable corporate asset. Here is our executive briefing. We've got 3 core takeaways for you: the financial proof, the canvas expansion, and a massive signal to the supply chain. Section 1, the Q2 financial proof. Let's look at Kenvue's earnings. Now, before we get lost in the ingredients themselves, we really need to look at the enterprise. Kenvue's Q2 reporting lays out a remarkably stable foundation. We're talking nearly $4 billion in total sales and a solid 9% growth in earnings per share. But honestly, the real story here is buried in one specific segment. And that is the beauty segment. This category drove 5.1% growth, literally outpacing the broader company average. If you look at industry media right now, they point straight to 2 specific powerhouse brands driving this outperformance: Neutrogena and OGX. Their common denominator? Heavy, highly strategic bets on peptide formulations. Section 2, the dual category strategy, Neutrogena and OGX. So Kenvue engineered this success through a massive multi-category offensive. On one side, you have facial skincare with Neutrogena, which is bringing clinical-grade anti-aging narratives right into the mass drugstore aisles. On the other side, you've got traditional mass hair care via OGX, completely updated with scalp and bond repair peptide science. Let's break down strategy A. In August 2024, Neutrogena launched their Collagen Bank series, leaning heavily into a patented micropeptide technology. The whole pitch is that it signals your skin to wake up and produce its own natural collagen. It's taking some pretty complex science and transforming it into a highly accessible mass-market product. Then, we see the escalation with strategy B. Sure, L'Oreal Elvive kind of paved the way for peptides in mass hair care, but OGX cemented it. By launching their Bond Repair and Pro Growth Plus lines, OGX officially pushed this ingredient well beyond just facial applications.
Beyond the headlines.
Into the research. Peptide-proof.
Section 3, the peptide maturation curve. Moving from a story to actual revenue. You can actually map this maturation out in 3 distinct stages. Stage 1 was all about the ingredient story, which meant some heavy lifting on consumer education. Stage 2 was product proliferation, where major players just flooded the market. And today, we are officially in stage 3, the revenue engine. Peptides are now a primary driver of corporate growth that executives cite on global earnings calls. Section 4, deconstructing the growth. Let's look beyond the hype. We have to be really careful here not to equate all this corporate financial growth purely with peptide efficacy. Yes, that 5.1% growth relies on good formulation, but it is heavily multiplied by sheer channel expansion, massive marketing spend, and strategic pricing. What we're looking at is a triumph of business mechanics, not just chemistry. And those mechanics create what we call the consumer dilemma. The huge benefit here is mass accessibility. You get clinical-grade ingredient stories at everyday drugstore prices, but the trade-off is opacity. To keep those prices down, mass-market brands frequently obscure their exact peptide concentrations behind proprietary blends right there on the ingredient list. This dynamic creates a stark divide in the market. The mass market offers a really accessible price point for the ingredient-curious consumer, but with opaque formulas. On the flip side, the clinical channel targets the results-driven purist. These are the consumers willing to pay a premium for total transparency and disclosed percentage concentrations. Section 5, industry ripple effects. Kenvue's earnings essentially validate the exact strategic bets their competitors are already making. Olay recently rolled out a triple collagen peptide line to lock down their anti-aging mandate, while L'Oreal pushes super aggressively into peptide hair care. It's a classic domino effect. When one giant financially validates the space, the others just double down. We're also seeing the product canvas expand rapidly. We obviously started with the face via Neutrogena, moved up to the hair and scalp with OGX, and now we've actually reached targeted body care. An Australian brand named EO and Oren has launched a firming butt essence for basically $90 a pop. So yes, face-grade peptide ingredients are officially moving south. Moving forward, here is what is on our strategic watch list. First, category expansion. Will Neutrogena take Collagen Bank into full body formats? Second, the hair care domino effect. Who else is going to be forced to adopt peptide narratives just to stay competitive on the shelf? And finally, the transparency war. Will mass brands eventually have to disclose their exact peptide percentages to win over a highly educated consumer base? Look, a mass health giant highlighting peptides on a quarterly earnings call is way more than just a marketing win. It's a clear directive. For B2B raw material suppliers, this is the ultimate financial green light to scale up production. The peptide era is fully commercialized. But it leaves us with one massive question. As the market floods with these products, will accessibility win the day, or will consumers eventually demand absolute transparency? That's all for this episode. Like and comment to receive materials from us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.